Hello, everyone.
Afternoon.
Nice and
How
early.
are we? Yeah. I wonder if we'll see Irons in the chat at all after that capitulation against Arsenal.
Yeah, I didn't
State
get
of it.
didn't get to see the game, but you were telling me just before it was a good game. Apparently, it certainly
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like it.
Really, really entertaining game. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know how West Ham were 3-0 up and a Moyes team to be 3-0 up as well. You just don't expect to lose that lead, but hey, unlucky. I
Unlucky
think,
indeed.
yeah. And then also, I mean, my depression season continued. I'm on 18 points. I had Kufa that game, which is nice. But my dad had Suchek and Lingard captain, and you're the casual. So fair play to him, fair play to him.
Oh God, Xmas jumpers is out, says Adam English. They certainly are for one of us. I've let the team down. I didn't get the memo. He just turns up like that and puts me to shame.
I just thought I'd chuck it on. Look, my Home
Oh
Alone.
no, that's the person. Well, when I was a kid, everyone said I looked like him.
You do, yeah. You still look like him now. After
Yeah,
us,
the drug
off
addict version.
the drug. I was going to say,
Yeah, the mess. That's me now.
yeah, yeah,
Evening, everyone,
yeah.
says Matt. Coming off an Auber captain blank, so pretty chuffed. This is the place to drown your sorrows, mate. You're top like 20 permanently in this game. Forget FPL.
Yeah, it's a joke. But Luke, well done again for FBR. Trust our captain. I think you're on 60 what points? 60.
I'm on 67, I think, which is madness because I don't own Antonio or Bamford, which would have. So I was looking down then. I looked up and saw that greeted me. Brilliant.
No,
Yeah.
fair play to you. Fair play. Fair play.
Well, if only I'd started like this because the last sort of, I don't know, 7 weeks where I've been just taking wild punts, it's just been coming off and I've been flying up the ranks, like generally. Like the odd one I've kind of done okay. And then,
Mm.
like, just standard things that everyone does, like benching a keeper who gets 13 points and stuff. Just those little decisions, if I'd done them different, I could have absolutely flew. But it's no good when you're 1.5 million when you start. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I need to do it for the beginning.
And I've seen as well in my Tacticians League. I was pretty level with him about 10 weeks ago, both about 1.5 million.
Mm.
And he's now about 250 points ahead of me, I think. He's absolutely flown, and I've just done nothing this
Well,
season.
this is how I know you had a bad start as well, right? We won't bang on about FPL much longer, but I'm obviously in a group chat with Az and Mark Southerns, who because we do the black box, we used to be Top Guns, etc. They kind of took over because I don't have the time anymore. Anyway, um, he was Mark Southerns, I think, and Az were 150 points clear of me after 3 weeks of FPL. How is that even possible? Like, how is that possible? 3 weeks of FPL. Bearing in mind, I'm picking a decent team as far as I'm concerned. A
You're
hundred,
trying your hardest, yeah.
yeah, 150 points in 3 weeks. So that straight away, I knew the season was a write-off. It's like, how the hell am I ever getting back from that? I mean, Salah captain game week 1 didn't help when I don't even own him in my team. That was me writ off straight away.
Oh, that was the same as me, yeah. I mean, it's Leeds' first game. I won't own Salah. It's all right. It's just fine. Oh, season's over. It's done.
Yeah, after 1 week. Oh shit. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
Anyway, let's get on to Championship Manager, which is
Exactly. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Boxing Day as well, so it's my birthday today. It's my, it's actually my, what is it, 17th birthday. So,
cool.
driving lessons.
Is the world ready for you? That's the question. Are you
Big
ready
wide
for the
world.
world?
Yeah, I am. ready to get out there. Put myself out there. So.
Yeah. Little did you know you go from Championship Manager to looking at stats and playing Fantasy Manager instead, which is basically the same thing pretty much.
Exactly. I mean, on that date, actually, 26th of 12/02, I wasn't far off losing my virginity on that date. It's only a couple more weeks, actually.
How did your sister take it?
Anyway.
Yeah. What was his name? Dave. Nice. I'll kill the jokes.
Okay, thanks.
No worries, mate. No worries. Right, okay. So games, as you can see, we tweeted out the stats as per usual, boys and girls. Pretty fun. I mean, I did the comms. It was hard work in places. I think we had a lot of goals early as usual, and not too many late on. In the end, we ended up with a fairly decent amount, but yeah, there weren't too many popular scorers. I think Van Nistelrooy with the blank. That was interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I was really hopeful with my front three this week. I had Viduka, Van Nistelrooy, and Jason Newell. And I was expecting some goals, but nothing.
Yeah, Viduka doesn't turn up. Van Nistelrooy blank, and Jason Newell got subbed off. So amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Incredible. Well, it was like the theme of the week. Everywhere I looked, people were scrambling to get Van Nistelrooy, and I mean, obviously they're playing home to Watford. It makes complete sense. And then for him to get a blank is just typical, isn't it? It's just the way it works. He's blanked quite a lot, Van Nistelrooy, despite somehow being 16 goals in 19 games. He kind of done nothing, and then just gets a hat trick or a brace, and then goes back to nothing for a couple of games. It seems to be that way anyway. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so. All the games today are obviously on Boxing Day, all at the same time. So we don't need to worry too much about conditions and stuff. Obviously, we're imminently about to play. I know there's some new people that might watch this back at some point, and a lot of the terms and things I say may not make sense. So Andy, stop me if I'm talking shit and ask me to explain it in more detail.
You're never talking shit, Luke. Always spot on. Don't worry.
Cool, thank you.
Apart from the incest chat, we'll leave that alone.
No, yeah, that's for another time. So yeah, I mean, we just go through the team, shall we? There's not been any games in between, has there? Because it's been so close.
Yeah, it's 5 days, isn't it? There's no games between 21st and 26th. So
yeah,
I expect everyone will be fully fit, although it's only been 5 days since the last game week. But it's this game week on to the next one, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously we've got this one here, 26th, and then we've got another one on the 28th. Now, rotation in this game isn't necessarily linked to games being close together. More to do with condition, rep, as some people know, or playing high reputation team playing against a low reputation team. However, there does seem to be, if you go through sims, I mean, you played the game a lot, Andy, I played the game a lot. A lot of people here watching will have, and if you go through the teams around the Christmas period, you will just see that random benching seemed to occur more frequently. So whether the game programmed games close succession, rest people, whether they did it for Christmas, or whether it is just, people are on 93% condition and they want to put someone who's on 100% instead, I don't know. But it seems to be there. And
yeah. I mean, the thing is as well, I mean, even if you're playing the game, if you have a game on 26th and then a game 2 days later, you've got players in your squad that are like 70-something% anyway. So you're thinking, okay, I'll play this reserve striker who's 100% this week to give him a break. So I think it works the same as that. That there's going to be players that are just going to be too tired to start or start and come off early. So, yeah.
Yeah, and of the 2 days, I suppose, because the previous one was 5 days ago, you would expect that it would be this day where we'll get more rest, which is the next week, because the condition will obviously be a lot lower. So, of the two, probably the next week will be worse, I would imagine. But we'll see. That's part of the joys of ChampMan. You can't live in fear of it. You still got to pick your best players and hope, haven't you? And we're going to do something different on the league this week to try and aid people a little way in that, because the worst thing we want really is new people joining the game, picking all their best team, or Viduka, for example, this week, and suddenly just doesn't turn up, because it just kills people's enjoyment. So we'll be a little bit more friendly over the Christmas period, I think. Nice.
Yeah, that'd be good. I've seen what you're doing for the league, so I approve. We'll do that at the end. It's
nice,
good.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Right, so let's go to Arsenal. I don't know. There's been a few transfers and stuff. I think.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting one is probably I tweeted it yesterday, but the Sunderland striker, new striker. So that's an interesting one. We'll get to that. I think a few people know already have guessed right, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, nice. Sorry if you can hear my children in the background. This happens when it's midday. I've just left my missus to it, and she's really happy about that.
Such a blessing.
Yeah,
such a blessing.
Such a blessing. Yeah. Okay, so here's Arsenal. We've got a few yellow cards here, which means that they are due a ban if they pick up another one at some point. When does that run out again, Andy? Can you remember when that runs out and change to 10 or whatever? I can't remember.
It's not for a while. I mean, I think it's end of January, February time.
Okay, nothing to worry about.
I don't think it's just halfway through the season. I think it goes on for quite a bit.
Okay, and obviously once they get the ban, they still have to wait 2 weeks before it actually kicks in. So over Christmas period, that's probably a few game weeks away, to be fair.
Yeah, that's the same with red cards as well. So if anyone gets a red card, you're going to be fine throughout Christmas. So
nice. Yeah, it's actually, that's one of the things I really enjoy about when you have a double game week in the person. Well, I don't enjoy the red card, but if it happens, they still play the second game, give you a chance to rectify it. It's good.
Yeah.
So I suppose the headline news for Arsenal really is that Thierry Henry is finally back, fully fit. He was actually pretty fantastic in the few games leading up to the double, where he then got injured on France duty. I think it was Champions League against Monaco, wasn't it? It was pretty good here, and then now he's back. So you would imagine he comes straight in. Middlesbrough are they rep 13 now? Or they were 12. They're 13 now. So you'd expect he'll still start that one, unless they do some Christmas shenanigans. So he still looks like a good bet to me, because Arsenal at home are pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Where else?
It's actually not a good week for Middlesbrough, is it? This one.
Yeah, I watched the sim data.
Yeah.
I watched the sim data. Yeah, from CM Fantasy, and if you guys haven't checked that guy out, you should do on Twitter. CM, is it _fantasy? I think something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, does a lot of little preview videos that can aid you. And Arsenal seem to come out pretty well in this game, so probably one to look at. The likes of Pires, etc. You see, everyone is fully fit. The only Albertini is still 3 months, and these guys don't play here. So
yeah, one thing I want to touch on Arsenal is, because in my team I got the double defence off the back of the double game week a couple of weeks ago. So I got Cole and Lauren. I mean, Lauren, it's a good fixture. It's not a bad opportunity for a clean sheet with Cole and Lauren. But is it just now a time to just get rid of Lauren because he's not playing, or is it just again random rotation that could happen?
I can only go on the sim data, but in it, as an average, he's playing like 30-something games. But in some of those, there'd be a lot less. So we're clearly on one that might be a lot less. It could suddenly pick up and he plays every game. I honestly don't know. But to me, he doesn't get. I mean, you can see he's got 3 assists there, which he's pretty decent at. But the bonus points and the fact that they can change their goalkeeper as well, which means their clean sheets are even ropey, just makes him not worth it to me. But the annoying thing is, like you say, this week it's a decent fixture, so it's like you don't really want to get rid of him this week. But I think I'd be tempted to.
Yeah.
I think I'd be tempted to get rid of him. I'd keep Ashley Cole probably. I mean, I wouldn't look to get him out.
No, yeah, that's the one. I'm happy to keep Cole. I think the clean sheet's good, and he's always a little bit better for average rating than Lauren anyway. So
he is gonna. I mean, this so far, 1 goal in 18 games, 7.50. I reckon he'll be between 7 and 8 come the end of the season, and he'll probably add a couple more assists, maybe a goal. I think he'll step it up in the second half. He did the same in season 1. To be fair, he wasn't great to begin with, and then the second half of it, he played pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Ashley Cole is you get a clean sheet and you think there should be normally about 7 points because you should just scrape into bonus normally.
Yeah,
if they get clean.
Apart from, if Pires has a worldie, sometimes the wingers can play well, but generally it's Henry or Ashley Cole that are usually picking up the bonus points. The centre backs don't do it, so yeah, it's just a surprise he hasn't done as well as we expect.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, who are at home to Bolton. They've got Boateng out again, 2 weeks with a twisted knee. He keeps picking up little niggly injuries, but he's been pretty good for him. When that's happened in the past, I think Hitzelsberger's come in most of the time in centre midfield. So if I was to guess, that's what I would guess would happen. They do have other options. Ginola and Merson and people like that can play there, so you never know. Alpay is suspended still for 1 game. I think last game Barry and Melber played centre back, so
that's the better combination rather than Mills, isn't it?
100%, yeah. So this is what you want at the back, definitely, and in midfield here, maybe Hitzelsberger or Merson comes in, but that's what you expect the team to be. Maybe Balaban for Dublin. That's about it, unless it's any Christmas shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, Carr's probably a bit better than Mills, but that's pretty close as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to rely on getting Mills or Carr just because of that rotation.
No, I wouldn't touch either of them. No, better options.
Yeah.
Jeffers will continue to start. So, there's no way to know for sure. Henry will start every game that isn't a rep game. And Jeffers, I think, is probably gone to the top of the pecking orders. In some sims, in this sim as well for the pricing, Canu was the one who did it more often. But Jeffers did do it on occasion. And so far, it looks like Jeffers is probably the preferred option. But you just have to be aware that he can miss out. He can come off early, all sorts of stuff. But he's gold when he plays. He's a proper good finisher in this game. So if I had him, I wouldn't be taking him out this week, I don't think. Home to Middlesbrough. I think it's a good game.
It's a good game, but I'm not sure. It's quite risky.
Yeah, it's right. I suppose he's a good player for a good target games if someone's got an injury, because the forward slots are so powerful in this game. So if you're using them on people who might not play, you're suddenly sacrificing a lot. So I see what Andy's saying there. But his stats are coming along nicely. He plays for England now, off the ball 20. He's a good player. Hopefully they start playing. And not interesting when Jeffers and Henry play together. Quite often Jeffers is the one who gets the goals. Henry might get a higher average rating and get the assist, but Jeffers kind of nicks the goals. Yeah.
It would be interesting to see the Arsenal lineup to see if it is Henry and Canu or Henry and Jeffers. To see if he's actually got the reputation now.
Yeah. Blackburn They've still got Adams out for 2 months, which has been good for Berg, Curtis, etc., the cheaper defenders. Weatherall's 1 yellow away from a ban. Bjornaby 10 days, 90%, so he could feature. But Lassau's there, generally ahead of him if they do play 4 at the back. And everyone else is fine, 100%. De Boer, Janssen, all the popular picks are all good.
Nice. Yeah, De Boer's going to be in my team again, doing well.
Nice. Janssen's been pretty damn good over these targeted run of games. He's been very good, I think. Where's De Boer gone? Yeah, De Boer keeps annoyingly chipping away. 8 goals in 19. That's some return so far. Way more than I expected.
Wouldn't expect that at all. But if he's playing up front, Blackburn looked decent. It's all clicking into place. So.
Bolton, again, a complete clean bill of health here. Everyone is cool. Cooper's still 1 yellow away from a ban. Sherwood is a yellow away from a ban. Everyone else is fine.
Lovely. Dominant defending again.
Away to Aston Villa. Yeah, did they get a clean sheet last week? They did, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it's really not as many shots maybe. But
no, I mean, but look, Charlton 60% possession, 6-3. I mean, you'd expect Charlton to have scored here. Gaskelainen just played another 8. Machine.
Been brilliant, yeah.
Charlton. So very much one of the whipping boys in this game. Yellow card for Clegg and he will get suspended. Rufus is the same. Kinsella is 2 weeks, 37%, so he's definitely not going to play. And Davis, 3 weeks, who's their better DM, is obviously not going to play as well. So last week, what did they do? Oh, they bought Fatty Dinser.
Fatty Dancer.
Yeah, he's a strange one, this guy, because I've seen him do really well when he actually plays. And I haven't checked this out, but I suspect he's one of these players who's got a higher than 20 for dribbling. If I was to look at it, I don't know for sure. Maybe Simmons could check that out, because he somehow manages to perform a lot better than his stats suggest. So usually when that happens, it's because they're basically some sort of cheap player. They've got an intrinsic level. So
yeah, I mean that happens a lot with the under-21 Swedish players, isn't it?
Yes, the Swedish players value. Are very much cheap players in this version. Sweden and Belarus of this patch version are just ridiculous. So it wouldn't surprise me. I would need to check that out. I don't know that for sure though. So yeah, I mean that's what they did last game. So I imagine it'll be something similar.
Not the best midfield. Fatty Dancer and Scott Parker's stats. What's he like? Not great.
They're not great, but they're not terrible. Sometimes they put Jensen in there, so one of them too probably.
And then that just defence as well. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean it's not. I mean it's pretty bad, but it's not awful yet. They just seem to just be totally woeful at defending. It's the short passing, attacking stuff. We talked about it last season. It's the stuff that the top teams do, and if you try to do it with a lesser team, like really they shouldn't have Joe Kinnear, but they should be in lower level football playing, not that kind of style, and it's just not worked. Season 1, it seemed to work for him. This season is utterly dreadful.
Yeah, I mean the thing is because I got Jason Newell, because I had him for this nice run of fixtures. I thought he might chip in with a couple of goals. Again, they got a nice fixture this week. They're home to who are they home to? Home to someone
Newcastle,
not good. Yeah, it's a good fixture. Yule looks like it does quite well, and then you've got the double in a couple of weeks. So I've got to keep Yule now for that. Really?
Yeah. What would hurt you more if you take him out and he hauls, or do you know what I mean?
And that's why I'm going to keep him.
Yeah. Chelsea, who top of the list there, Desai and Terry, both in my dead team. Cheers, lads.
Ooh, yeah, decimated dead team, isn't it?
It's hanging on. It's been doing really well, to be fair. In the last couple of weeks, the injuries have just started taking their toll, and yeah, Terry and Desai are out now. So along with Shearer, who went off. So Terry's out for 2 weeks with strained knee ligaments, which, like you said, over Christmas is pretty significant. What are we talking?
3 games in the cup, isn't it? Almost.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 or 4, depends. I just hope that they let him get fully fit and they don't play him when he's orange, which they already did to Desai once, and hence why he's still out again. So he's 7 days away. Last time when he was a week away, was it 10 days? 7 to 10 days he'll go orange away from there, and then he's obviously viable to start. So that's my Big worry.
Big pet hate, yeah. I mean, come New Year's Day, he looks like he'll be orange again. And be straight back in and injured, yeah.
Yeah,
good.
Woeful. Everyone else is good though, guys. Ben Will saying, who was Sunderland signing? I think Andy tweeted it, but we shall click him on when we get to it. We're working down the list. It's a striker. Yeah, everyone else is good. We can move on. Derby. Ravanelli picked up an injury and he's out for 3 months.
Yeah, big blow for Derby, that.
Massive.
That could mean relegation for them, because that's where the goals come from, really.
Yeah, it's going to be purely on Christie now, pretty much, to score their goals. However, it may give the guy that I keep talking about, who hasn't really played, Lee Morris, he's now listed for loan though, so maybe not, because when they list people for loan, they don't always come in. Strooper has been the sub of late, which is not a good idea.
Strooper's not good.
No, but Lee Morris, if they give him a go, maybe, you never know.
Hopefully we might see Tonton on the bench as well if they start playing.
Yeah.
One of those strikers.
He'll probably get a few games over Christmas, to be fair. They've just got so many midfielders now. Mental. Absolutely mental. Loads.
Yeah, I think it will be Christie and Strooper, but you're not really going for Derby strikers, really, particularly.
No. Adam France, nobody likes Derby. 4.5 million midfielder Nicholson, 2 assists, 7.13. Great.
Hello, yeah.
Everton, who play at home to Man United, and apparently get absolutely spanked in this game most of the time. So I'm not sure anyone will be looking at them, but GX is a few days 90%. He's still on his way back. Obviously, he can still play on that, and everyone else is okay.
Yeah, it was a really impressive debut from Dimi last game.
From who?
Demetrius Etheropoulos.
Elethrolopoulos.
Oh, there we go.
Is that who you meant?
I'm saying Dimi. You know what I'm like with pronunciation. So.
Dimitri. Yeah, he.
Good start.
11 million. Okay.
A few people did buy him on Wildcard, and I've seen a couple of people went for him straight away, and he returned with, I think it was a 9-pointer last game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's not going to continue, but that's pretty good. I mean, this week, unless he pulls out a worldy performance, it looks like he's probably going to get spanked. But yeah, good keeper. Once challenged, you see probably. Watson's still wanted by Newcastle. Ferguson's back. He can be pretty damn good.
Back to Ferguson and Campbell.
I would expect so. If they play 2 up top. What did they do last time they played at home to a good side? They played at home to a good side, Arsenal. Yeah. Ferguson, Campbell, GX in midfield. Yeah, it's probably something like that you'd expect then.
Nice.
Ipswich again. Not enough chaos yet. Hopefully it will ramp up. Everyone is good. Naylor wanted by Brentford. Ryderson wants to move still. Tariko's been playing alright in recent weeks, I think. 7-8. Yeah, he's not been too bad. Berkovic.
Done well, yeah.
But yeah. Doherty's there. Everyone's fit though, so chances of playing forward probably a little bit less because they've just got so many options.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably benching Doherty this week, I think.
Okay.
The way my team is. Always a risk. You see that lineup, he's up front, and you're thinking, damn it.
Who are they playing? They're playing Leicester away. God.
Could be goals. Yeah, so
if he's up front and he scores, it could happen easily, couldn't it? He scored quite a lot. He scored 7 goals so far this season, I think, including his cameos for Spurs, which is pretty damn high as well. You wouldn't have him.
Yeah.
Usually, if I think Simmers say that when they put him in from the beginning at Ipswich, he plays about half the games up front and generally ends on about 7-8 goals come the season. We've already got 7 already, so yeah. Leeds.
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah. They've been like this for a little while, to be fair. Bridges is long term, 4 months. The core, 3 months, torn groin. Played a reserve game. What are they doing to him, man? Look at that.
What are they doing? Like, at one stage he was better than Vieira back in the year 2000.
Yeah. They don't play a DM, do they? So they don't recognise him as a midfield centre particularly, which is stupid. Stephen Ferguson's injured. No one cares about that. Kelly is 1 week 90%. So again, can play, but pretty good news for Maybury owners if anyone's got him. Yeah. Smith, who went off injured, as you can see, is on 72%. So few days, thigh strain, 72%. So he is technically over the 70% mark and therefore could feature. But
I really hope he does. I hope he limps on to start.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be injured. I think it's a tough one for owners because he's going to be only missing one game, a few days, is it?
Mm.
So it's only a couple of days to the next game, though, so a bit difficult.
Yeah. I mean, they could start him. The thing is, if he does start, home to Liverpool's not the greatest of games, and then they'll have a forward on the bench, and he'll be coming off because he's got low condition at some point, either through injury or through tiredness. So,
yeah,
for me, that's probably a sell if you've got him.
Yeah, if he does play any minute at all, he won't be fit enough for the 28th either.
No, probably not. Yeah, you're right. Everyone else is good. Viduka's fine after his little rest. Been in great form, to be fair.
Not really scoring too many.
No. He started scoring more of late. Did he not score in like the first 5 or 6 games, if I remember rightly? Something like that. Might have been 7 games. Something ludicrous.
Wasn't that good, was it? I don't think.
He got a 5. Let's have a look. So no goal in 2. No goal in 3, obviously.
Very slow start.
4. No goal there. 5 and 6. First goal in the 7th game. So if you take off 7 from there to 11, 11, 9, 6, 5, it's been pretty good for the last few games then, when you think about it. Not as good as we'd expect, but not bad. Mm-hmm. Hi, Motley. He's in the chat. Big up to Motley.
Big up to Motley. Go and read his article on Fantasy Football Collective. Good stuff, Motley. Great work.
Top stuff, indeed. That's it, really, isn't it? Lennon doesn't really play. No, none of these guys are really that interesting. So, yeah, Leeds pretty good, I suppose. Most of them are just squad players there.
Yeah, you're thinking Viduka and Keane?
Viduka and Keane up top. Kuhl AMC, I imagine. Bowyer and McPhail, maybe, or Baka in midfield.
Baka could play, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'd bet. Ferdinand.
Batty might play.
Batty could play, yeah. If it's full strength, then it will be Bowyer and either McPhail or Baka in centre midfield.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be full strength against Liverpool. You know that. So it's not going to be a rep game.
Yeah, no, should be good. Okay, unless there's any Christmas shenanigans, that's what, outside of Christmas period. Yeah, that'll be nailed. Definitely awful from the start, says the ration on Viduka. I know that from owning him for his blanks. Yikes. Leicester, who play home to Ipswich. Muzzy Izzet was on one last game, as you can see.
Great, yeah. Just as everyone sold him.
But fixture in it, home to Millwall.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Lee Marshall doesn't play. He's out for 2 weeks though, and everyone else is fine.
Full strength again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting this next string to be carnage. I mean, they'll be down in like 80s and 70s, I think.
It's incredible the lack of injuries done last time, isn't it, compared to the season 1, really?
Yeah.
Nearly every week there was like 1 or 2 big names that were injured, and it just doesn't seem to be that case this time. I mean, probably the biggest one, significant one's probably been Henry for the double. That's probably the most significant one I can remember.
That's the only one, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Liverpool, Hegem, that was fairly significant, I guess. 2 months still to go on his injury. Who are they playing Liverpool today? Oh yeah, away to Leeds. Fowler's a few days gash leg 90%, so could feature. Stephen Wright 2 weeks with a hip injury. Warnock doesn't really play 90%, torn groin. Everyone else is fine.
Nice.
So they've got Hippier and Henshaw back together, and usually when that happens they do pretty well until one of them gets red carded or injured, which seems to be a running thing. They only last about 2 or 3 weeks before one of them manages to do that.
I think there's been Hippier and Henshaw haven't been performing that well. I mean, last match they got the clean, which is good performance, and they got down to 10 men. Oh yeah, Partridge as well. You'd click on Partridge, was
Oh yeah,
suspension.
yeah. No, they weren't great in this game, and Hippier got subbed off, but because there's a red card in the game, obviously they didn't really have much of the ball, and then we know when the players don't get enough touches of the ball, they just hook them quite often. So look, Heskey, what was funny about this game is 23 minutes in and he's not had any of the ball, look, so he can't do anything, and therefore they just sub him because they think he's been awful, but it might not necessarily be his fault. Same for Risa here, 4 passes he completed in 28 minutes, so
off he come.
Yeah, off he come. Get fucked off, mate. And same for Hippier, after 63 they had enough for him, which is dangerous play to use nearly all 3 of his subs by the 60th minute when you're 10 men, isn't it?
Brilliant, love it. Shame it wasn't Dudek red after that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the chaos can come in this game, and that could happen. You get a red card for Dudek or something, they can't make a sub. 9 men and an outfie player in goal. Suddenly Derby score 5, and sim data you can piss it up the wall. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant, love that. Yeah. And it can happen easily.
Yeah, definitely. Partridge, yeah, he got sent off straight away, didn't he? So he is now. Oh, he's only got 1 match ban. Okay, from the 4th of January. So, does it count in the FA Cup, Andy?
Yeah, it does count. Yeah.
Okay, so he's good then.
That's the only game I miss. Yeah.
Cool. He's not nailed though. Of course, they've got most of their players back now. Although he might have made himself a high enough rep and ability to start more often.
Yeah, he's looking good.
Man City, again, similar story here, guys. Calissimo, 10 days, 90%, but everyone else is fine. They're playing at home to Millwall, which is a very
really good
game.
Yeah, I think a few people are going to be tempted by Man City players. I mean, I'm really tempted by Tiato this week. I think he looks good on set pieces.
Yeah.
One shot should be doing better, but I think he's a great pick for this week.
Yeah. These are the kind of weeks, like one shot season on season, 15 to 20 goals come the end quite often, 15 more reasonable, and the bulk of them are going to come in games like this, I would imagine. So yeah,
and it'd be like brace or hat trick this game to just bolster it up. Yeah,
that's what I would have thought anyway. Manchester United. Everyone is absolutely fine.
Very nice.
Johnson 1 yellow away from a ban. Feels the team has more potential than it's showing.
Yeah, I mean Chadwick's not been doing anything really. A good price, you can't get rid of him because he's playing for Man U and he's 5 million. But every week I'm like, this is the week Chadwick does well, and nothing.
Yeah, really. I'm surprised. If you're playing on the wing for Manchester United, you should be getting returns quite often. And this is why I always say about getting people who have got set pieces and penalties to fall back on, because midfielders aren't particularly reliable. But when you play for Man United and they're attacking in every game, you'd expect more from him, wouldn't you? And
and look at that form as well. 7's not even.
Yeah, I know. He gets subbed off early quite a lot, which can hurt it. But still, in 60 minutes, you should be getting more. And Giggs has been pretty bad as well. He started off pretty bad, then he was great for like a small period where he was doing really well for like 3 or 4 games. He picked up all of those returns, and he's just done nothing again. And look at his stat. How is Giggs not getting anything? He's so good in this game.
Oh, he's not getting 8 rating either. Like him and Chadwick. What's going on? Why are there that?
Yeah, I don't know. They obviously seem to focus more down the middle. David O'Leary prefers a direct style of play. Direct, we know from previous season when they play direct, generally the centre midfielders perform better. The same for Leeds last time. David O'Leary is obviously in charge of them. We have McPhail playing in the centre midfield. Stuff like that, which seemed to be a little bit better. The wingers like Kuehl and stuff were not particularly good. But the imbalance is more than you would expect still.
Yeah. Are you just saying that Giggs is pretty much a dead asset?
Yeah, I mean, Veron, I always prefer Veron anyway, because again, set pieces, penalties, stuff like that. But Giggs can be mad, like crazy good, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. So, I mean, Veron, Van Nistelrooy, Sylvester is still the main trio for me, but Chadwick is more than viable, and surely will come good at that price. He can't not be value come end of season, surely. I don't see how he can.
I know, yeah, it's 5 million. I just not going to get rid of him, but I keep carrying him every week, keep starting him.
Yeah. I know Sylvester's returns have been slightly disappointing, but this is why, I mean, when you come back and you look at this, when you think, well, what price do I want to put Sylvester? We plays for Man United, the best team in the league. They generally keep the most clean sheets. You come back and he's got an average rating of like around 8 or near above, and he'll probably end up on 35 games, maybe 5-6 assists, maybe 1 goal, and near 8, you think, well, he's got to be 6.5 million, but he's not. He's not really been worth it, has he, so far?
No.
Still
better than Hart.
Still better than Hart, yeah. Motley saying Giggs will be the best Man United option this game week. Yeah, maybe. Everton only play one out wide, don't they? If they play that tactic that we showed earlier, so it's a double up on the wing. So maybe it is Chadwick and Giggs time.
Yeah, I did notice on the CN Fantasy Sim data that Van Nistelrooy didn't get man of the match in any of the 20 sims, which is interesting.
Okay, they've got good centre backs, haven't they?
Yeah.
Usually when Van Nistelrooy is away to good centre backs like Ekiog, Southgate, the Bolton centre backs, the Chelsea centre backs. He struggles a little bit because usually he just completely bosses everyone, and obviously they can handle it. So maybe Everton's in that category. I don't know. I still think he'd do pretty good, but.
I mean, he did okay he did well for returns, but I was just thinking that maybe not for average rating. Maybe he's not going to get a man of the match. I mean, that looks like Varane, pretty much the go-to captain, I'd say, this week.
Beast.
If you have him.
Middlesbrough. Still these two long-term guys up here. Boyce for a month and Jones for 3 months. Everyone else is fine. Atherton is 1 yellow away from a ban. Gordon is still wanted by Manchester United. Southgate is 1 yellow away from a ban. And Zepeda is Jesus.
Legend again. 13 points this week.
Yeah,
Miguel.
There's that
Thanks,
whole
mate.
enjoys team style of play, which seems to make a big difference. Pedersen had it last season when he went on a credible run. A few others get it. Yeah, he's mad.
Great.
Absolutely mad stats there for a mid.
But they are dropping off and they've got a tough fix, so the league could be up for grabs again.
Yeah, they've lost the last 2, have they? Is that right?
Yeah.
And then away to Arsenal's probably another loss, you'd have thought. So 3 losses in a row, that might...
Starts again, same as season 1.
Yeah, could be. Marcus de Giza, afternoon, gents. Hello, mate. Nice to have you.
Afternoon, yeah, good to see you.
And Caesar Malman manager, hello. I hate Cepeda so much as depression. So do I. I bigged him up pre-season because I didn't think anyone would get him because no one's ever heard of him. I said he's good, and he is good. The stats did show he was good, but I still didn't think anyone would get him. And suddenly, he's been far better than even I expected.
Anyone, yeah, exactly. He's top point scorer, isn't he, in the game now?
Yeah, I think he is, which is crazy.
By 1.
Madness.
Yeah.
Millwall. Yellow for Evans and he will be suspended shortly. McKinley is finally fit, so that's probably the end of Evans for me. So that's what? Terry, Desai, we'll get to Shearer in a minute, and Evans gone for me as a minimum. That's without any rotation or anything, so I might be looking at 9 men from now on.
You're going to be fielding 7, 8 players soon. Yeah, definitely.
Probably.
I might catch you. I might catch you.
I think Lordy Leroy, only me and him are the only two that get to know the information before the core team lock in their teams and then they get to know the information. So it's literally me and him that have this private conversation every week after I've just run the sim and we have a dead team each. I think he's like 200 points behind me. I said, you're going to catch me, mate, the way it's going.
Oh. I just remember last season, my dead team finished about 1,000, I think. I didn't take that seriously. I mean...
No, well, you had 90 million as well, to be fair. Yeah.
You're true, yeah.
Neil Harris, 63%, 10 days, orange, so he should not play. Probably be eye fill up.
Fingers crossed for Samba. Yeah, Samba was on the bench last game. He didn't come on, but good to see him there.
Oh, yeah, because didn't Steve Bird pad Samba in his team? I looked at it. He bless him, he took a free hit this week to try and smash the game week, smash the fixtures, and I think he got 7 players that actually turned up out of his 15.
Horrible. Every player that was rotated, he had. Yeah, not nice.
Incredible.
Feel for you, Steve. He's still enjoying it, though.
Yeah. Your time will come, my friend. Newcastle, then. So, as you can see, Shearer is suspended, but he's also on 27%. 1 day with a bruised shin, which, how that can put you down to 27%.
Red. So he's red flagged 1 day? That's unusual.
Well, the red flag could be for the suspension, couldn't it? It doesn't show you both. So, the suspension.
Yeah.
So he would have missed this game anyway, which is really annoying because Charlton is a great game. He's been dreadful for me for absolutely weeks, and then and now he's missed.
What,
the
for about
best
50
game.
weeks? About 50 weeks, really.
No,
Can't rely on him.
No, come on, mate.
No, he's so unreliable. He's always injured, always on the verge of injury. Well, I don't think I've owned him in the 2 seasons.
He'll have the last laugh. You watch, Big Al.
Okay.
The only thing now is he's on 27%. Yes, he'll miss the Charlton game through suspension, but will he be fit enough to play against Watford? Maybe not, but the game doesn't care about that. They'll probably still stick him in. So I wouldn't be surprised. Oops. What did I just do there?
There we go. Back to Brighton. 23rd. What's Dave up to? Oh. The Jeff Pitcher effect.
The Jeff Pitcher effect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Have I lost you?
It's like lagging or something.
You all right? Hello, mate.
Hello, what happened there?
No idea. Can you hear me, actually?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Can you see my screen again?
Speak again?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you see my screen and everything?
Yeah, I can hear that. I can see that, yeah.
I think I've accidentally pressed the power off button with my toe on my computer.
Really? Wow. How'd you manage that?
I think so. That's all I can think of what it was. But the thing is, it lags just before as well. I was like, you sort of synced out for a bit, but I don't know what happened. Anyway, I can rejoin the same thing, I think, which is good.
Nice. Mirrors. Technical stuff here at ChampMan Towers. It's all good. Are we still live, or are we just chilling?
I don't know what's going on.
I think we're live, probably.
Are we live, boys and girls? Oh, we're still live. Hey, Happy Hour podcast. Are we all good?
ChampMan community really winds me up. Oh, we're live. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Bedfordshire and Somerset broadband in the mud. I don't know if it was the broadband or whether I clicked my power off button with my toe on my PC, which is also a possibility.
You need to move that.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? I'm just checking I've got everything. I've been thrown now. I've got no chat. I need to bring the chat up.
Especially for the for the COD tournament. Are you on PC for the COD tournament? Or was it PlayStation?
Oh no, I'm on Xbox.
Xbox, okay.
Yeah. Right, here we go. I've got live chat back. Have I? Let's go on with that. Yeah, let's stick that there. Sorry, everyone.
Ooh. Yeah, apologies.
Right, where were we before I rudely interrupted?
We were talking about Shearer and his being the absolute troll over 2 seasons. And he can't rely on him.
No, it's harsh, man. Warren Barton, 3-match ban, red card. Yeah, I wonder who they play at right backs. They can play Maddison there, actually, so it could be him. Hughes, potentially. One of these bad boys. Anyway, no one really cares about that, I suspect.
I wouldn't say Maddison's going there, would you? I don't know.
Wouldn't say what?
I wouldn't say Maddison will be right back.
He has played there a few times, I think, in when I've looked back in Sims before. He can play everywhere, so maybe. But who's going to play in centre midfield if they do that? I mean, they don't really have many options, do they?
No.
Yeah, probably Hughes, more likely. I was going to say Solano then, because he can play there, but he obviously went to Blackburn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move. So Sunderland.
The big transfer of the week.
Oh yes. Let's do the injuries quickly first. Swartz is 3 months still, cruciate ligament. McCartney is a few days, 90% bruised rib, so good feature. McCann is out for 10 days with a calf strain. He's definitely out. Yeah, and there's the big signing.
Mark Libra. He's had a good season. If you look at his season at Norwich, he's done all right. That's why he's been purchased.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's 30, but he can still do a job.
Yeah, so the key stats, talked about this last week. Off the ball 19, pace 17, that's not bad at all. Jumping 19, heading 19, not bad at all.
So apparently he's a big forward, right? In real life. So that's why he's got good stats for heading.
Someone did say that, yeah.
So he's kind of like a Niall Quinn character, which would really help Phillips.
He's got high agility, aggression, acceleration. He's not terrible. It's just the finishing's obviously massively lacking. Decisions is low, but yeah, creativity's nothing. Strange is usually the big guys are quite strong. He's not particularly strong. His teamwork's pretty woeful. So I don't know how it's going to go. I think he's priced at 5.5 million, which is cheapest potential starting striker if he manages to replace Sibon in the game. We're trying to obviously offer options now. No one's going to buy him over the likes of Wallace and Campbell and people like that straight away. But similar to Ramberg, who I poo-pooed, and then he started doing pretty well. I suppose Libra could do the same, so you never know.
Yeah. Would you say Libra is ahead of Sibon, or would you have to wait and see what happens?
I've got no idea, honestly. I've genuinely got no idea. I would have to stick him in and run sims. This is where I'm hoping after this stream all the simmers are going to stick him in and tell me whether he plays above Sibon. Thing is, I've said it before, Sibon often plays right wing. You have to force him to play striker in sims. They don't often play him up front, which is strange. Yeah.
They're not good as well that he plays forward left centre. There's no risk to Arca, is it? Or could it be?
No, I don't know. Spain maybe could switch in position. Maybe Phillips plays on the left, does he? Maybe he goes over to the right. I think Sibon does play on the right. But yeah, it's an interesting price because he's cheap for a good attacking team and he's playing up front, so one to keep an eye on. But
yeah, I quite like him because of the heading stats and stuff. So if he's winning headers and the ball gets knocked down, you've got Phillips there, who's one of the best finishers in the league. Yeah. Surely it helps him. I mean, how's Libra compared to Sabon for his stats?
You'll do the old comparison, do you?
Yeah.
Where's he gone?
Interesting to see.
Well, I suppose the main thing to take away from this is Sibon, who was pretty much nailed, is now not necessarily nailed. So that's something to take from it. Where is Sibon? I can't see him. There he is. So Libra is green.
Okay, so mainly just the heading stats. Off the ball's better.
Yeah, I think it'll be better for Sibon's pretty terrible for goals. I think Libra will score more goals than Sibon potentially, but will he help out as well more? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Not as good finishing. Yeah, quite similar.
Max saying Smith to Libra for his debut Hattie. I mean, get on it. 5.5, incredibly cheap.
I mean, I really think it helps Phillips more, to be honest. And this fixture, it is tough to go against Man U, but if you've got Kevin Phillips, he's probably the one that you could go to as captaincy this week.
Yeah, they're home to Watford, aren't they? So it's a very good game. Phillips has been weird this season. He's done it in games you don't expect, and then been pretty shit in the games you expect something for him. But there's nothing to say that will continue. But I mean, Phillips is a great captain this week. Penalty, I love strikers with penalties. He could easily score loads.
Yeah.
Tottenham are a little bit, a little bit injured. Ziga's 1 week away, 88%. So good feature. Etherington 3 weeks, 33. He won't be. Everson's 2 weeks with a groin strain. Quentin Fortune is Ben Will saying Libra isn't there for me. Yeah, I don't think it'll be after the stream is when we update everything that's happened. So Panda, who is in the chat, I just saw him above, is the main man on that, and he will sort that out. So he will appear after the update of all the injuries and stuff. Fortune is a month away, so that's good for Ziga. Once Ziga's, you're probably going to play now, I'd imagine, actually, considering Fortune's out.
It's bad news for Ziga. was looking at him for the double.
Well,
I mean, Ziga's out.
I think no, Ziga, he's a week, so he could play now on 88%. If he survives, I suppose is what you're thinking, isn't it? And month for Fortune, so that's good for Ziga for the double if he's back in time.
Well, I mean, the double starts in 5 days.
That's does it?
He's got the 28th, and then the double starts on the New Year's Day, doesn't it?
Oh God!
Either side of the FA Cup game.
Dean Richards is out for 2 weeks, strained knee ligaments. That's a big loss for them. Everyone else is okay.
Yeah, maybe Ledley.
You'd imagine it'll be Ledley, yeah. Davies is 1 yellow away from a ban. There he is. Panda saying confirming Libra will be available about 10 minutes after the stream ends.
Nice. Well done, Panda.
Top man. Finally, Watford. With only Harrison, who is out for 2 weeks, isn't he?
I was going to get Craig Harrison in. Now what, Luke?
For his clean sheet away to Libra.
Yeah, now what?
Valenza, 1 yellow away from a ban still. Everyone else is fine.
Yeah. Don't go Watford. Not even Petkoff. Not worth it.
Petkoff is coming back, my friend. Maybe not this week, but in the next few weeks. He's got some good games. Yeah.
Can we have a look at job security? Is Joe Kinnear back on there yet? I know you got the win.
No, Hoddle's insecure though.
Oh, hello, Glenn. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It would be interesting. They're not as... They might go defensive for once.
Yeah, that'd be quite annoying actually, wouldn't it? Because it'd be hard to... I hope, because most of the managers are 4-4-2 in this game, actually, think about it. So if they were to get a 4-4-2 manager, I don't think they've actually got any good players for a 4-4-2 particularly. They don't have any left or right backs, do they?
Well, Ziga can play left back.
Yeah,
He's about the only decent one. Who they got right back? Yeah,
I don't think they've got anyone.
Put Darren Anderton there.
Oh, bloody hell, we're going to see Ian Hiller,
yeah.
right? Or this, the guy they signed. That was the genius. Yeah, they were thinking ahead when they signed Stephen Clark. We'll get Stephen Clark in, sack Hoddle, and base our team around him at right back.
Go for the future with Stephen Clark, and Andy Senior.
No, we can't lose Gung Ho Hoddle, says Depression. Yeah, no, that would be a big loss, actually, wouldn't it? Joe Kinnear and Steve Bruce are in the same WhatsApp group. What else is there to look at then? Let's look at the fixtures quickly. I suppose we could talk through them and then do the player stats and stuff.
Yeah.
You can talk it through. You can go through it if you want. I watched CM Fantasy's video, so I'll probably be influenced by that quite a lot as well, I'd imagine.
I saw that this morning when I woke up as well. Good video for that. So Arsenal, Middlesbrough. It looked quite good for Arsenal. I think Middlesbrough will struggle to score. But I think with that fixture, the way Middlesbrough can score, it's kind of 50-50 whether they get the goal. So I'm going to say they do score, and I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal for that one.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. I think that's I think it'll probably be about 2-1. Villa Bolton,
high scoring, wasn't it? Villa looked quite good.
Yeah, and Bolton have been incredible this sim, so whether they can manage to do anything again, I'm not sure. Say 2-1 Villa probably again. Yeah,
I'm going to say 3-1 Villa. I mean, the interesting thing with Villa is Dublin, because obviously you want him if you know he's definitely going to play. Who would you say is first choice striker? Like,
I think it's Dublin.
So we're going to do the new league thing. We'll explain in a minute. But would you say first choice is Dublin and Angel then?
I think they'll rotate the whole rest of the season, but I think come the end of the season, Dublin will probably have something like 20-something games, like 20 to 25 games, maybe more. And then in just that small amount of games, he can be like top scorer in the league.
Yeah.
Maybe more than that. It depends. Some sims he didn't play at all. That's why he's so hard to price and why he was 6 million. Because Balaban, who was the main man in season 1, suddenly just didn't feature in the odd random sim that we played. So it's very tricky to price Dublin because he's amazing when he plays, but maybe 8 out of the 10 pricing sims he wasn't the favoured option, and Balaban was. Clearly in this one he seems to be one of the ones we've hit lucky on.
Yeah. How old is Dublin now in this game?
He's 33, isn't he? I think he is
33.
Something like that. Let's have that. 33, yeah.
Because what I don't like for this next few fixtures as at Christmas is the older players. So I mean, it's fine if you got Dublin already, keeping them as starting. It's a great fixture.
20 for stamina, my friend. He gets up and down them stairs back and forward. He'll be fine.
Oh, he's training all right then. I just wouldn't trust the old players to keep the stamina. But if he's got 20 for stamina, then fair enough. But
Yeah.
there's some players that I don't really
Natural
trust.
fitness. I don't know what his is, but that's a hidden stat. Someone could look at that and see what it is. That's generally the recovery time as well in between games.
Yeah, I just wouldn't like to have Dublin with the risk of rotation, the risk of fitness, the risk of Balaban there. I don't think is a buy for me, even though he's good. He's got a hat trick, and he's got a good fixture. I still don't like it.
Okay. Blackburn, Spurs. Blackburn. Spurs will be attacking, I imagine. Blackburn normal. I'd imagine it's like 2-2 or something.
Yeah, I mean Spurs were attacking, weren't they? Still in this fixture. They don't see Blackburn as
16th, man.
Yeah, I would say Blackburn quite comfortable. I'm going to say 3-1 Blackburn. I think goals again. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair dues. Generally goals in Spurs games though, so expect the same.
Yeah.
Charlton and Newcastle. I'd like to say, oh no, Shearer's not playing, is he? So screw Newcastle. Charlton 3-1, 3-2. I think that was.
This is the one. Yeah. When was the Charlton win? When's the one victory they had? We're halfway through now. When was the one victory? Who was it against?
Home to Watford.
Home to Watford. Okay. This is they
got battered as well.
To look state at that. I'm going to say a Charlton win as well. I'm going to say 2-1 Charlton. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Back on the revival.
Derby, Chelsea. I don't know what to think about this game. Chelsea have got Desai and Terry out, remember? That CM Fantasy doesn't run his Sims with the up-to-date injuries.
Yeah, but Ravanelli's out.
That's true. So it's what, 0-0 then?
I don't see too many goals.
Chelsea are good at keeping the score down. 0-0, 1-1. I don't want it to be 0-0 because both my Chelsea defenders are out. It'd be typical if it is.
I don't like this game particularly at all. I'll say 1-0 Chelsea. Maybe it's good for Melchior.
Screw that. I'll go 1-0 Derby. Come on, Derby.
Okay.
Come on. Everton at home to Man United. Going by the sim data and the fact that it's a double up on the wings and Everton seem to get spanked. It's got to be something like 3-0, 3-1 Man United, something like that for me.
Yeah, I'll go even more than that. I'm going to say 4-2 to Man U.
Ooh, nice game.
And I think it's tough for captaincy. Either you go Veron, Van Nistelrooy, or you got Phillips. If you've got Phillips, I think that's tough. But
yeah, I mean, Viduka's against Liverpool, and maybe not.
I
Still
don't
think he does well in that game, but maybe not enough to put the captain's armband on him.
You could risk that one shot.
I still think Henry would do really good. Home to Middlesbrough. I don't think anyone will have him. No one's going to bring him in for this game. I wouldn't have thought.
No.
Leeds Liverpool then. Generally, when the bigger teams meet in this, is not quite the same as real life. Like the away team just don't really show up, and the home team do better. So I think it will be a Leeds win, maybe 2-0 again or 2-1 or something.
Yeah, I think 2-0. Liverpool quite defensive. 2-0 Leeds. Yeah.
Leicester Ipswich is just a crapshoot as well for me. I don't know what that will be. 2-2.
I don't know. Another good week for it. I think we'll see a Leicester win. Doing better than last season. I think Leicester. I'd say 3-1 Leicester.
Okay.
Another quite a few goals.
Cool. Man City Millwall. What are you going for?
Shockish result. 4-0 Man City.
Ooh.
I think it's a big week. I think Tiago will do well. One shot, Huckabee. I think you'll see some good scores out of that one.
I can't, unless it's a red card, so I can't see anything else but a Man City win here as well. So, 2-3-0. Something like that. Sunderland Watford, again, it's probably similar for me. Sunderland are second in the table. Madness against 18th. So, yes, Sunderland win for me. 2-3-0 again, probably.
I feel the same.
Maybe Watford score. I hope Petkoff can score.
Yeah. Would you say Arca's a decent captaincy, or is it just you've got to go for forward?
Ooh, I mean, he's been great, hasn't he? No, I'd still pick a forward all the time. The only midfielders I'd ever really captain are the ones who play up front, or the ones who have penalties, set pieces, which Arca's got free kicks, but he scored a freak amount of them, I think. Actually, not as many as someone else. I looked at this earlier. Remember season 1, we didn't have many free kick goals. I think it was probably about midway through the season before we got our first. So far, Sunderland has scored 5 goals from direct free kicks. Now, People are saying
They haven't-
Arca's overperforming, for example, right? Ardley's actually on free kicks most of the time for Sunderland. Like, they do share him a bit, but Ardley's been injured for large parts of the season. So all these things help to contribute towards Arca suddenly having a really good season and overperforming. But, you know, if you get 5 direct free kicks, I mean, I don't know if he scored all 5 of them, but it feels like he scored quite a lot.
Yeah, I don't think that's 5 from Arca, though, is it? Direct free kicks?
I think he's at least had 2 or 3. Maybe in the chat can say, like, I remember him from comms. Yeah, so it's a lot of fortunate things have happened there with Ardley being injured and then him scoring them. So, I mean, Petkov scored a few for Watford as well here.
Yeah, I know Petkov scored. Hart's got a couple.
Hart got one. I think Viduka got one. Hart got one, definitely. Carbone's got one for Chelsea, I think. So these just all add to it.
Yeah. A few teams that haven't scored a direct free kick. What about other team stats as well? Could we go player stats quite a bit? Let's have a few look at indirect free kicks and
Charlton with 4 reds. Yellows. Arsenal play on hard tackling, so that's why they're up there. Direct free kicks we just did. Indirect free kicks, these are completely random. These can even be taken by defenders a lot of the time. Just hoofed into the area. Goals from corners. You know, Chelsea, Carbone's on corners usually. Man City, Tiato, etc. Spurs is Simon Davies.
Yeah. But shared though, no, yeah. Not many from Man U.
No.
I guess because that's the defenders that haven't got great headers of the ball, centre defenders.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. I mean, Veron takes Beckham usually takes them, shares them with Veron. He's not in the picture, so Veron's getting them. There's another reason why Veron, I think, is doing even better this time is because Beckham's out. I don't think that's been talked about enough. Beckham's barely playing, and quite often Beckham will share corners and free kicks with Veron. If he's not on the pitch, then Veron's got it all. So he's an even better asset than he was.
Nice, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Good point. I should really get Veron in, but I just can't get to him, really.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? If you're going with Veron, you're committed to it, I feel like. Yeah, penalties. Liverpool have had a lot. I think Hippier missed one, didn't he? Annoyingly. And then actually a lot of these penalties have Hippier's not been available for them. I think Littman and people like that have taken them, haven't they? Murphy,
yeah.
So he could have had. I mean, technically, he could have had 6 goals Hippier already from that. It's just mad. Unsworth got 3 of those 4 for Everton. Oh, he's got 4 of them actually. He scored all 4. We'll check that in a sec.
Go down in history. Yeah.
Conceded. Blackburn, Liverpool, Middlesbrough, the tightest defences.
Liverpool should come out on top still. That's what I tip at the start of the season. I'd always say 25 to 30 goals for Liverpool conceded. Mainly of the time. Just the way they play, going out the 1-0, 2-0s.
Yeah. And if Huncho and Hippier can stay fit, then it's got better chances.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough leading the way for goals, followed by Sunderland.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Middlesbrough are far outscoring their projected goals at the moment. I can't remember what I projected them for now without having to look, but it's certainly not that high. Games without winning, Charlton 10. Spurs 6. No wonder he's for the chopping block.
Any ideas who would come in if it was any managers available?
No, there's a whole bunch of them that just go around. It could be one that's already been sacked, for example, or it could be McLeish or someone like that we've had pop up for West Ham managers and stuff. Yeah.
What a run for Blackburn there, though. Look at that.
Yeah, so many draws. Man City lost 5 in a row. Surprising, to be honest. And Arsenal are in the best form in the league, apparently. Where are Arsenal in the table? Because they didn't win a game for about 7 weeks, did they?
They were like 14th, yeah.
And they are 6th, so it starts to correct itself.
And if you're looking at like sim data over the whole season, you wouldn't think about clicking on Arsenal 10 games in, would you?
No, exactly, yeah. And that's why anything I say is always converging to the average of the sim data. Will it go that way? We don't sure. But yeah, this is in the little pockets and little windows, everything can look erratic. And then come the end, I wouldn't be surprised if it's much aligned. There we go then, boys and girls.
Yeah. Do you want to go through what you're doing for the league?
Oh, yes. So,
and if you want anything else in the chat, I'll have a look at the chat, see if there's any questions, any new people want to know anything, or just put it in the chat now.
I'm going to move this now, which is a bad idea because then I need to put it back. But Just bear with me with the Hall of Mirrors for a second, guys.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's get rid of that.
While you're doing that, I'm going to say my tip of the week.
Go on then.
I think Man City will do very well. I like the look of their fixture. I like the look of One Shop, but I think because he's on everything, Thiago is going to have a decent week. So that's my tip for this week.
Nice.
And I don't think I can get to him because I think I'm going to go 3 Sunderland for this week.
Okay.
So I got two free transfers, and if I want to get rid of Loren, I can go down to Tome. I've got Tome in my team, so I can go to him, try and get a clean sheet from Sunderland, and then that gives me enough money to go from Kinney to Teal, so that I have Teal, Arca, and Emerson Tome to hopefully cover the big Phillips haul, which I think we'll get as well.
Nice, all worked out. Daryl saying just tuned in. Merry Xmas and happy birthday to Andy. Cheers, Daryl.
Yeah, I appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. Just looking forward to losing my virginity in a few weeks.
Arthur says best pick to replace Smith, One Chop or Yule. I think they're both good. I would probably go with One Chop. I think just because Millwall are worse than Newcastle.
Yeah, although you got the Yule. Do you get Yule in now for this fixture, and then he's got the double?
Yeah, I suppose you're right. If you're looking beyond this week, Yule makes more sense, doesn't he? Probably because of the double, just because of the double, more than anything else.
Although it's not the best double, but it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's not the best, but we've seen so many times. Just when a player's got 2 games, they'll end up quite often in the team of the week just by turning up twice.
Yeah, I mean, basically with someone like Yule, you've got 2 chances that will get a goal, and it's quite likely. So with another appearance points as well, yes, it looks quite good for like a 9-pointer in a double, I'd say.
Who is my tip of the week? I was just trying to think. You put me on my feet. I don't know. Who am I going to pick? Man City's the obvious one, isn't it? I can't just say One Shot. That's too easy.
Away from the obvious ones, yeah. But
Sunderland, a good game. Everyone knows who's good for them. Arsenal, I could say Arsenal, someone.
You think Arsenal have a good week?
I think they'll do all right, yeah. I think they were doing really well. They've been steaming up the table, and Henri's back. I won't say Henri because that's easy. I'll go for Jeffers and the hope that he starts, because I think people might look to... They're probably on him for the double and stuff, and they might look to be getting rid of him this week for someone else, which could make sense. So it's one of those fantasy things where he could easily punish you, right? So it often works out that way. I'll go with Jeffers.
Yeah.
Right, let me explain the league. Right, so normally, guys, everyone will know what I'm talking. Well, most people know what I'm talking about, but some people won't. We leak a team each week, similar to what Rockstar was doing in FPL at the time, just to aid and obviously add a bit of fun and a little bit of interaction. Over the Christmas period, we're expecting a little bit more of rotation. There might not be, but also to help with new players. Rather than just give you names, we're going to mix it up a little bit for this week. Maybe for the next couple of weeks, we'll see how it goes. But if you can see this key in front of you, I'm going to do this for all the teams this week. So after I run the sim, I'm going to look at the lineups, and then I'm going to give them a grading, essentially. So to get inside my mind, you might have to get inside my mind a little bit. But here you can see green team is expected, injuries permitting. So we've seen who's injured. If I look at the team and it's pretty much the team I would expect the AI to pick that plays every week, they're obviously going to be a green. If it's a blue, minor rotation could be usual for some teams. So there are some teams in this game that are a little bit trickier than others. So you have to kind of base it on the team. If it was Sunderland and it was a blue, for example, their 11 is pretty nailed. So you'd expect 1 or 2 people might be missing some of the minor guys more often than others. Maybe an Ardley's missing, something like that. And if you're talking about Arsenal or Liverpool or teams that rotate heavily, then that could be any of the people that rotate. Perez, whoever. Do you know what I mean? People who could just miss out quite easily. For the orange, large rotation, a big name or 2 that could miss out. That's going to be a surprise, basically. I'm going to look at that team sheet and there's going to be, either quite a lot of people are missing, or like I say, there are 2 big names, maybe 1 or 2 big names. But the reason why it might be an orange and not a red in that example is there might be a big name that does play. And if I say it's orange and then you've got, I don't know, Viduka, for example, for Leeds, and I say it's orange and he starts, but the rest of the team rotate, you're then going to end up subbing him out, right? And I don't want to cause that for people. So does that make sense? That'll probably be more of an orange. There might be 1 or 2 big names. It could be your one that misses out, but maybe some of the bigger names might play. And then the red is obviously just, this is a Rep 12 game. This is no one that is even starting in this game, pretty much. I could use it, as I say, with only a few big names. So if I look at a team and, let's take Leeds, for example, then. So all the big names are out. Let's say Viduka's out. I don't know, Alan Smith's out, Rio Ferdinand's out, Ian Hart's out, then all the rest is as you expect.
Sing is out. Sing is out.
Sing's out. All the rest is as you would expect. I might call that a red because that is a red essentially for us. Does that make sense? Because no one that is even owned or is good could be out. But I don't expect we'll get any reds, but we could do.
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I mean, basically, if it's green, fine, no worries. Red, big red flag, get concerning.
Yeah, blue and orange. You want to discuss
get inside your head for blue and orange.
Yeah, you want to get inside my head. You want to discuss it. You want to look at previous lineups. You want to look at Simmers and what they've managed to find, and yada yada yada.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, you could get unlucky. You could get good, and we'll see. It's just more a gauge. I mean, to be honest, I don't think it causes a bit of anxiety, this sort of thing. But I don't think it's any different to real football when you have the managers come on and give the press conference and go, "We've got a few knocks and niggles. We'll see how we go at the end of the week." You don't know who's going to play, do you? You have to make up your own mind on certain things and the little pieces of information. So it's not too dissimilar, I don't think.
No, not at all. And the fact, especially around this time at Christmas anyway, where you've got the big rotation, I think it's a good time to do it. Yeah. And we'll see how it goes. I think you should do it for the 3 weeks.
Because honestly, if we just do one team or like what we've been doing, then there's so much stuff that's hidden in the background then as a result, potentially. You know, maybe I say Man United rep 12, but then suddenly Leeds and 2 other teams do it. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's completely shafted then, which we don't particularly want. Anyway, there we go. So that's hopefully explained. Anything else you want to say, Andy?
Just a question saying, would you transfer from Viduka to Phillips for this week? He might wildcard next week, but if not, it'll be 2 transfers to get him back.
Oh, God. What do you think?
I would say probably not, to be honest. It depends if you've got other Sunderland assets. So if you've got like Arca and another Sunderland asset, it might not be worth it. Hopefully they can cover him. Because Viduka can still go off against Liverpool. He can still get a brace.
Won't you be tempted to keep Phillips if you do bring him in? He's playing home to Man City the week after.
There's 2 good fixtures.
Yeah. I think it's so hard to twat. Sunderland's got the better fixture and Phillips is on penalties. I would edge that way. If I was on a free hit, that's who I would pick. But yeah, Viduka, home to Liverpool, away to Millwall, home to Sunderland is a great run as well. Kind of want to get both in your team and Van Nistelrooy. Tough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't get to 3. I've got Viduka and Van Nistelrooy. I've kind of gone a bit heavier now in midfield as well. We're kind of loading up on the 7 million mids. So that third 3 million.
It's been working forward. Though, to be fair. The 7 million mids have been killing it. There's no reason to think that they suddenly stop at the moment.
Yeah.
No.
And then it's whether I get Slakovic in for the double, trying to get some money made for that. Because I'm going to get Rebrov in for the double.
Blackburn, Derby, yeah.
Because the Derby, I mean, the double, which starts on New Year's Day against Derby, and then Charlton at home. You need to be loading up on Spurs assets, really.
Yeah, they do have that game in between, but they might rep in that game.
Should do.
I probably will do.
Yeah. A lot of people are free hitting that week, I've noticed, especially if you've got 2 free hits left. It's definitely a good one. Just load up on Charlton and Spurs, because you don't really want them for too long.
No. The good thing about the Charlton game is we know Spurs are incredibly leaky, so although Charlton have got bad games, playing Spurs is a good chance for Yule or Brian Hughes or Wilcox or people like that to pick up at least 1 attack in return. That might be all you need. Cool. All right then. I think we'll end it there because I've got my tournament in a little while and I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of screenshots, a lot of grading of team sheets and shit I haven't done before, so it's going to take me a while.
Are you going to do that tonight, Luke? I'm
going to do it right now as soon as I've done it, and I'll pass it on, and maybe I was going to say Andy then. If Rob's about, maybe he'll put the leak out tonight. I don't know. We'll see if he's about.
Nice.
Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow morning.
Look forward to it. And then, and don't forget Wednesday night, guys, instead of Thursday.
Yes.
Because of the extra game week we're squeezing in. So it's Wednesday at 7 p.m. deadline. Don't miss it. And then we'll probably, I think you're going to do a preview stream Thursday morning.
It might be Wednesday night. We might smash it on Wednesday just to squeeze everything in, and just the way my work happens. So yeah, I appreciate it'll be late and not everyone will be able to watch, but obviously you can catch up quickly, and it just means we can update the site with everything, and obviously people don't have to watch it if they don't need to.
Yeah, and then next Saturday is Gameweek 21 at 7 p.m. deadline as well. So yeah.
Cesar saying, "Are we going to play the game, or am I mistaken?" No, it doesn't quite work like that. Hopefully someone can explain to you. Cheers, lads. Cheers, good night.
Yeah. Caesar, drop me a follow and I'll DM you. Right. Bye.
Yeah. Peace. Au revoir.
Au revoir.